How do you get your people as excited about the numbers, the KPIs, as you are? You as the head of your company. Now, I'm kind of like a visionary entrepreneur, so I don't tend to get jazzed by numbers per se, but the numbers matter. So we've got this client, $30 million subsidiary of a huge multi-billion-dollar multinational conglomerate, and this company has a CFO. Most weeks when people aren't out traveling too much, they travel a lot. He stands up, reads down their metrics, and people are usually like checking their mobile phones. Some people stream of consciousness, throw ideas out, and they just ramble back and forth. Not long before their eyes are just glazed over. We implemented our system with this company. If we fast forward a year and a half now, what's going on? They're tracking to do $80 million in sales this year. They are the #1 fastest growth company in the entire conglomerate. CEO of the conglomerate is looking to apply this system we implemented for them to the entire mix of companies. Everybody is invested in these meetings. What changed? #1 thing, every single person has singular ownership of some very specific metric, and they share it every single week against its goal. So you got the head of ops, metric tons of production against the goal. Head of HR sharing her team's number of candidates they brought in for interviews that week against the goal. And so on and so forth around the whole team. Right, so what shifted? Well, now, instead of that CFO reading down some boring list of numbers, every single person has their butt on the line a heck of a lot more. But it's not just that piece of it. People want to succeed. And that thing of success eludes a lot of people. They don't feel successful a lot of the time. They don't feel the sense of having completed something. But once they've got that very specific metric, it all changes. They wake up in the morning, they march to work, they know what war they've got to triumph over and win in order to achieve success. And, by the way, this isn't just happening with the leadership team at that company. Every single person around the entire company is coming up with some singular metric against its goal. And it's not happening some weeks when they're not happening to travel. It's happening every single week, even if they have to video conference in. That weekly cue is key, because it's kind of like when you're on hold on the telephone, just sitting there, and suddenly there's some expected wait time the computer shouts out to you. Or when you're waiting for some web page to load up and it shows you that progress bar. Or if your computer's loading up and there's that hourglass turning. See, that cue, those visuals, they reassure you that something's going on, something's gonna get done. Even if the music is kind of like mind-numbing, where do they come up with some of these songs? Even if that progress bar just kind of hangs out at 99% for seemingly ever, there's a shift. There's a shift from confusion and frustration to focusing instead on progress. That's the first key thing that shifted. Second key thing that shifted is that there's kind of this tendency people have in conversation to meander all around and go down rabbit holes that have no connection whatsoever to the company's actual bottom line. Now it's clear to everybody how to anchor the conversation in the metric that's most deserving of the entire team's time. How they do that? Whichever metric fell short of its goal gets the company's attention. Specifically, the challenge that sits between the actual performance of that metric and the goal is where the company focuses. So I sat in on a meeting with this company. Head of sales says, yeah, we got this goal for trailing 4-week sales for the week ending this week of $7 million. That's our target. Our actual was 6.5, but it seems like there's not enough interest in the marketplace yet for our product. Boom. We've got an anchor for the conversation in that challenge. And that takes me to the third thing. Instead of the person who misses their metric putting it out there and the whole team just kind of going on faith that is in fact the challenge, now they question it. They grapple. until they get to the heart of the challenge. So what happened there? Head of sales says, not enough interest in the marketplace. Head of ops jumps in and says, have we been getting feedback from customers? Like, are they telling us they like our product? What are they saying? Head of legal comes in and she says, should we be structuring the deals differently maybe? Then the head of marketing comes in and says, not enough interest. Now that's strange because we're seeing a flood of interest. We got leads like banging on our door. Head of sales says, banging on our door, we're getting like 8 to 10 leads a week. If we had 15, we could clear our number. She says, 15? We're clearing 25 every week, easy. He says, I don't know where those leads are. She busts open her computer, shows him the CRM. Boom, there they are. It was like watching two people in the dark where one's got the flashlight, one's got the batteries. They haven't talked to each other. So many people will do almost anything to avoid this painful task of coming together and thinking through issues. Thomas Jefferson said that. In fact, his exact words, I think, were, there is no expedient to which a man will not go to avoid the real labor of thinking. If you decide you want to give people this sense of ownership and success, I'm going to give you a little exercise, a little game to do that with. Inspired by my childhood hobby of card collecting, baseball cards. You're going to create your own card, if you're up for it, but that card, which you create for each team member, is going to have just one stat. That stat is the metric that best captures that person's contribution of value to the company. And once you've done that, come up with a target. That's bonus points. So if it's your head of ops, for example, maybe it's like a number of widgets produced each week, and the target is like 50,000. And if you're feeling especially inspired, a little bit artistic, get the juices flowing, write, doodle a bit, make a picture of the person on the card. Here's the thing. Once you give the card to that person, let them know in no unclear terms it is their responsibility to become that player in that game. And the game is on. See, what's so awesome, if I can be so humble, so bold, is that you're giving people the ownership, the sense of success that you feel, because now they have a clear path to triumphing, right? You're giving them something that until now has been elusive. So if you are looking to stop bumping up against that annoying, frustrating ceiling and break through to the next level, I invite you to do this. And if you want to learn more about this particular tool around metrics or any of the other tools in our system, come visit us at helm.ceo or click on the link that you see. I'm Josh Klenoff, founder of the Helm. My team and I love doing anything we can to help you as entrepreneurs break through to the next level.